One of the best local multiplayer games of all time has to be Twisted Metal for the PlayStation. Released in 1995, this game was one of the first launch games that came out with the PlayStation. Anyone who owns a PlayStation has to own Twisted Metal. It's essential for your collection. Inside the manual, you have tons of different information on characters, weapons, and environments. But of course, the manual is in black and white. It's really depressing to see all these black and white manuals, when systems before this had tons of different color in their manuals. Twisted Metal is an awesome vehicular combat game that lets you drive 12 different vehicles through 6 arenas. That's right, I said arenas, not tracks. You don't race at all in this game, it's all about destroying your opponents. Think of something like Carmageddon, just without the racing. Because you can run people over in this game. Especially in the campaign mode, there's all these little people running around shooting you with rockets and bullets, so it's essential to run them over so you don't die. There are a variety of weapons in Twisted Metal. Missiles, mines, spikes, and oil slicks. You also have 2 machine guns on your car. They don't do much damage, but they have unlimited ammo. You know, I never thought about it until now, but this game really reminds me of Spy Hunter. I mean, think about it. Both games have pretty much the same arsenal. Huh, who would have thought? Now, one thing that I have in common with both Spy Hunter and Twisted Metal is that I suck at both games. I don't know why, I'm just cursed with this. I just can't play these games right. Literally, I've had people come over to my house and beat me on their first try ever. It's very depressing. For some reason, I'm just not good at games with cars in them. I'm just not. I don't know what it is, I'm just cursed. Which really bums me out because I love Twisted Metal. It's just such a good multiplayer game, especially when you have friends over. But enough about me. It's time to talk about the characters. Each character and vehicle has its own stats, but it's stuff that you'd expect. You know, the big truck can take more hits but can't go as fast. Or the little car can go fast but won't take that many hits. It's nothing too interesting, but what's really interesting to me are the characters and their backstories. Primarily Sweet Tooth. He's an escaped mental patient who drives around in an ice cream truck and is a psychotic clown. Personally, I think he's an underrated mascot in gaming. I mean, everyone talks about Mario and Zelda and Kirby, but they don't really talk about Sweet Tooth. Maybe it's because those games are obviously more popular than Twisted Metal, but I think he should be higher up on people's lists of awesome mascots. Also, I definitely have to mention the soundtrack in this game. You can't have metal in a title and not have awesome headbanging goodness in your soundtrack. That's just a sin. Seriously though, Twisted Metal has some of my favorite soundtracks of all time. It's right up there with Guilty Gear for me. I may not play Guilty Gear or Twisted Metal that much, but I definitely listen to the music a lot. I also really enjoy the sound design in this game. It just brings me back to that old classic PlayStation style of sound. Now, one other thing that's cool about Twisted Metal is that you can drive in first person. It even gives you a little view on what the car looks like on the inside. But this game isn't perfect. For one, it's hard to see the enemies in the distance. The graphics are pretty muddy, even for a PlayStation 1 game. Also, the controls make you feel like you're on ice. Especially when you go to make a sharp turn, it just feels like the car is slipping all over the place. One thing that really bothers me in a lot of games is when the AI just goes for you, even though there's like 6 other cars on the road. It's like, why do you only go for me? I get that you're trying to make the game challenging, but come on, you don't have to have it so that everyone is against you and then the only damage they take is just accidental by the other players. But that's just a minor complaint. It doesn't ruin the gameplay at all. Another minor gripe that I have with this game is the map. It's just totally useless. I mean, it tells you where the other players are, but there's no detail in it. It's just a box with dots in it. It for some reason reminds me of Pac-Man on the Atari 2600. I don't know why, it just does. Maybe it has something to do with all the flickering going on in that box, but I just find the map to be totally useless. These are just minor complaints. Nothing that really hinders the game, but they're very noticeable. But of course, you can't talk about Twisted Metal without mentioning its multiplayer. A lot of people will say that Twisted Metal has some of the best local multiplayer of all time. Now, I think there are games that do multiplayer better, but I will definitely say that Twisted Metal is still very fun, even to this day. I love inviting friends over and breaking out some Twisted Metal. Playing multiplayer is a very smooth experience. You don't have that much slowdown or lag when you go to hit buttons. It's only a one-on-one game, but that's all you need. You just need some one-on-one mayhem to pass the time while you're having fun with your friends. And that'll do it for today's review. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video.